throughout the past week and will now proceed with our service.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you all. I see you all are healthy. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let us. We have a few people who are either. Floyd had surgery last week on his eyes, and Audrika has a friend who has had surgery this week, and Zizi has surgery coming up. So when we do our treatment this morning, we're going to just include our health and well-being for everybody, as well as in particular for those people. Okay. And anybody else that you happen to know that I haven't mentioned, just include them in your thoughts. Okay. Let's just all turn within right here, right now, and know that in this very moment, there is only one life, one presence, one God, one perfect, whole, and complete presence. It is the source and the beingness of all that is. It is the oneness that pervades all. It is the oneness from which each one of us springs. It is the oneness, the wholeness, the completeness, the totality of all that is the origin, the absolute beginning of all that is. And because it is source to all, then everything that is one with it. For it makes everything that is out of itself. Out of the oneness comes all creation. And so, inasmuch as each and every one of us is an expression of that creation, and that our very breath is evidence of our oneness with it, I am knowing in this very moment that each and every one of us, regardless of whether we're here in present or we are somewhere else entirely, I am knowing in this very moment that each and every one of us is whole, we are complete, and we are perfect in the eyes, in the mind, in the knowingness of God. That in God there is no need for any surgery or any difficulties. There is no need in God for any lack of awareness or lack of fulfillment or lack of experience. For in God all is, all is. And so, right here and right now, we know that each person that is experiencing whatever experience they are in terms of health, that they are being uplifted, they are being divinely guided and directed to be with those persons and in that situation that allows them to have the very highest, greatest, and best outcome. For each and every person that they encounter along the way is an expression of the divine. And so, therefore, they must act in accordance with their divinity. And so we speak our word now, knowing that each one is healthy, is whole, is complete, is moving through this experience with ease and with a willingness and an awareness that they are already that which they desire to be, whole, perfect, and complete. Their healing is rapid and is easy, and they experience the loving care of all who are around them. And so we bless each and every one as we bless each and every one of ourselves as well. Those of us who are feeling pretty healthy today, we are knowing that this is the truth of who and what we are. And we bless each one as we release this word now and know it is done. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so Marsha.
Good morning. Please join me as we go through our vision and our mission statement. CSL West Georgia is a joyful global community where everyone belongs. Through our unique spiritual teachings, we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. And our declaration of principles: I believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. There is one life which I am a part, one intelligence which I use, and one substance which takes form as my life.
And in that is the full and complete creative process. Good morning, Susan. Susan is our music today. So good to see you again.
Oh,
Welcome.
it's good. Thank you. Good morning. It's good to see everyone. I've been following you all on YouTube. I'm a subscriber.
Oh,
So
yay. All right.
when I can't come in person, I follow and I listen, and I really I love this community so much. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate that. So you see everybody, go on YouTube and become a subscriber. Thanks. All right. Thanks, Susan.
You're welcome. Should I sing my song now?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna start with a song, an old song by Glen Campbell called "Try a Little Kindness." If you see a person standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see another falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on their narrow-minded streets. Don't walk around feeling down. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along their way. You've got to try a little kindness, just show a little kindness and shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of those narrow-minded people on their narrow-minded streets. You've got to try a little kindness, yeah, show a little kindness and shine your light for everyone to see. If you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on their narrow-minded streets. You'll do random acts of kindness on those narrow-minded streets. Thank you.
That's perfect. Yes, that's what life is about, right? Doing random acts of kindness. Ajika.
Thank you, Reverend Sandra. Good morning, everyone. This reading today is from the Tree of Eternal Life. A learned man who traveled the world over was heard telling a story about a tree in India whose fruit bestowed eternal life. The story was brought to the attention of the king, who, like most people, desired to live forever, and he instantly became obsessed with finding the tree. He ordered one of the most trusted ministers to travel to India in search of the special fruit and gave him ample funds to support his travels. Upon arrival in India, the minister began his thorough search from the southernmost point of the subcontinent to the remotest mountains in the north. He traveled from town to town, from village to village, asking every person he came across about the tree and its fruits. Most people laughed in his face, taking him for an imbecile, while others just ignored him as they would a madman. The minister spent many lonely days and nights in foreign places, only rarely coming across a friendly face. If anyone did speak to him earnestly, It was to convince him to give up this useless search, to tell him that he was wasting his precious life. Some people would tease him and give him false directions to an imaginary tree in some difficult location, making him go off his trail and wasting more of his time. Mostly, though, people just laughed at him and took him for a fool. The devoted minister, however, did not give up, pressing on with his mission tirelessly. To ensure that he did not quit, the king regularly sent him sufficient funds to support him. Years passed, and the minister turned gray and old, and finally he had to admit that he had failed. With tearful eyes, he began his journey back home after years of absence and hardship. On his way back, he decided to pay a visit to a learned sheikh whom he had heard about, hoping to receive a blessing from him. However, the minute his eyes met the sheikh's, he burst into tears, sobbing uncontrollably for quite some time. Once he managed to take control of his senses, he confessed to the holy man, "Great sheikh, I've lost my way. I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve all those years ago, and now I'm returning to my master shameful and empty-handed. I beg of you to take pity on me and show me the right path." "What are you searching for, good man?" asked the sheikh with compassion. "Years ago, my king sent me in search of a tree that produces a fruit that gives eternal life. I've wasted my youthful search for it, but I never found it. All I found was sarcasm and pity," whimpered the minister. "My wise man, this tree you speak of is the tree of knowledge, which grows within the human heart," imparted the sheikh benignly. "You've been searching for what's readily apparent, and in the process, you've given up on the real meaning of life. This phenomenon is called by different names. One calls it the sea, another calls it a cloud, while another calls it a tree or even the sun, many more names besides. Knowledge has thousands of uses, one of which is eternal life. God is one without a rival, but he gives forth infinite signs. Think about it. A man may be your father, but he's also someone's son. What may seem like anger in his eyes of an enemy is kindness to a friend. You've been saddled with only one of his signs, namely the tree that you've been seeking. If you don't want to remain defeated, it's time for you to ignore what you see on the surface and begin to concentrate on the essence. What creates differences between men is precisely this superficiality. But once they understand what lies beneath the surface, duality vanishes. The minister felt an immense burden lifted from his shoulders. He no longer felt dejected or defeated. His heart had opened, and he knew that his passage back home would be the joy rather than grief. And so it is.
That story is the lesson in itself. Thank you, Ajika. Yes, it is. Excuse me. We've been, this month, our theme has been living as compassionate conduits, which means being kind, but it means so much more as well, because a conduit is a channel for transmission. It's a channel, it's a conveyor of something. And so if you're living as a compassionate conduit, then you are living as a channel for compassion, for bringing compassion into the world. So those of you that have your journals, okay, we started out this month living as compassionate conduits with week 1. And Ralph Waldo Emerson in that quote said, "Once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen." In week 2, Patricia Valaquez says, "The universe only gives you what you can handle. So trust whatever is happening to you is exactly what you need. Just trust and have certainty." And then in week 3, last week, Giorgio Bruno said, All things are in the universe, and the universe is in all things. We in it, and it in us. In this way, everything concurs in a perfect unity. Do you see how these are all coming together? And then today, along with our story, the universe buries strange jewels deep within us all, and then stands back to see if we can find them. Elizabeth Gilbert. And so today we're talking about how we can be motivated, because if we're not motivated, then God is not motivated to do for us. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking, it occurred to me that Moses was a really good example of being a compassionate conduit. So most of us know that Moses was given the task of bringing the children out of the Israelites out of Israel, out of Egypt. So let's just take a look at that story. All right, so it starts out with Moses. It's in the book of Exodus, by the way. And it starts out with Moses out tending his sheep. He, not the book, it starts earlier, but my story, what I want us to talk about today, starts with Moses tending his sheep. And he's out, doing his work. And he comes upon this bush, and it is flaming bright, but it's not burning. And so he calls it a burning bush, but I think what it was just this brilliant light. And because it was this brilliant light, what Moses, his only context was what? Fire, okay? But he's got this brilliant light, and it's not consuming the bush. And so he turns away, and then he turns back, because the voice from the bush starts to call from him. And it says to him, don't come any closer though, but take off your shoes, because you are standing on holy ground. So where God is what? Holy ground. And so God is talking to Moses, and he's giving him a mission. And his mission is to rescue the people, his people, God says, calls them his people, from the land of Egypt. And he says he had heard the cries of the people, and they're asking to be rescued. And so he is sending Moses in to lead him. Now, it's a very symbolic story, because what we want to do is look at it as, like what Ajika read, we want to look at it as an external story, okay? But think of it also internally, all right? Egypt is the land of ignorance. It's that place where we're wandering and we don't know. It's sort of like the man in the story. He was wandering around, looking for something, and he couldn't find it because it's not in the world, right? He's looking, and there's ignorance everywhere he looks. The people who talk back to him are telling him, oh, you're foolish and whatever, right? Because they are ignorant of the truth of who they are. But Moses looks at the bush, and he says, okay, I'll do what you tell me, but who do I tell them will send me? Because guess what? He knows, they're not going to believe him unless they know who sent him, okay? Unless he can say the right thing. And so he says to them, I am the living God. I am the living God. And it says, and God said to him, I will be with you, and this shall be the sign to you that I have sent you. When you have brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall worship God upon this mountain. And Moses said to God, when I go to the children of Israel and say to them, the God of your father has sent me to you, they will ask me, what is his name? What shall I tell him? And God said to Moses, I am the living God. This is my name forever. And this is my memorial to all generations. Now I want you to notice this, because God says to Moses, I am the living God. So God, number one, is living, and God's name is what? I am. Okay? All right. So Moses is talking and receiving directions from God, whose name is I am. So he goes and he rescues the children, and they have all these experiences before they get rescued. So he goes from chapter 3 to chapter 15. Okay, so in chapter 15, the children are rescued. And what do? They give praise and thanks for their rescue. And so Exodus 1 says, then Moses and the children of Israel sang this song to the Lord, saying, I will sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and the rider he has thrown into the sea. They were offering gratitude to the Lord. And they go on to say, he is mighty and glorious. The Lord Jehovah has become our Savior. He is our God, and we will exalt him. The Lord is a mighty warrior. The Lord is his name. Now, did you notice something there? Did you notice the same? God sent Moses, but the people are thanking who? The Lord. So what do you think is the difference? What's the difference between God and the Lord? Moses delivers the people because he is following the directions of the I am, God, the I am. And yet at the same time, the praise is given to the Lord. So think of it this way. God calls Moses. The living God calls him. And the Lord creates the way. What is the Lord? The law. So what you have in the story is the creative process. You have Moses being called by the divine, the spirit, and yet who is it that leads, who does the work? Who is the warrior? It's the law that is the warrior. It's the creative process. So let's personalize this. You get an idea of something that you want to do. Just think of something right now, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. Just think of something that you would like to do. Okay. Where do you think that idea comes from? Okay. It comes from the source of all that is. You're not source of anything. You use it, but you are not source. So whatever idea that you have has come from God. You want to make sure the ideas that you get are worthy, okay, of God giving them to you. Okay, all right, let's keep that in mind, all right? So if you're looking, remember Susan's song, share a little kindness, okay? So whatever you desire should have some kindness for yourself and for others, okay? All right, so you have this desire. The desire comes from the God, comes from God, comes from that I am. I am whatever it is you desire, okay? So I am prosperous. I am joyful. I am loving. I am peaceful. I am whatever, okay? I am is that God. It is the consciousness, is the spirit of you. Then you have to let go because you don't know how to make that happen. Let's say you wanted to make $100,000 this year. If you're not close, if you haven't already gotten close to that, then you probably don't know how to get to $100,000 this year. However, what this is telling us is if you will turn it over to the Lord, the law, it will show you how. One of the things that we have in class, and those of you who've been in class, you'll know this, right? What are we always doing? We're creating our desires, and then we're saying, how do I do this? How am I going to get this done? What do I need to do next? It's like we've got this desire and we're working in the world. Moses is not working in the world. Moses got a calling that is divine. And I am here to tell you that any idea you have has come from the divine. And so therefore, what did God say to Moses? I will be with you. So you are not alone. What is God's name? I am the living God. In other words, God didn't die after he dealt with Moses and the people in the Bible. He's right here, right now with you, whether you call him he, her, whatever. The divinity is already within you. It is the source of who you are. It is your very breath. It is your very life. But it has a way of working. And the way it works is through the law. So I want to ask you, are you Moses or are you one of the children of Israel? Think about that. Too many of us want to be the child and not the Moses. We want to have everything given to us. We don't want to do the work that it takes in order to be Moses, because see, Moses spent a lot of years in the desert learning stuff. He didn't just, pop up one day and all of a sudden, he had this epitome. No, he spent long years in the desert. He spent years getting married, having children, and farming it and doing his shepherding and all that kind of stuff before he came to the bush. And when he did, he was called. And each and every one of us is called in our life for something. It may not be, something as magnificent and glorious and biblical as Moses, but it may be just, saving a dog that needs to be rescued. Okay. It could be, just helping someone after they have had a hurricane or a fire experience. Or maybe it's just taking some food to a neighbor right now on Thanksgiving or any other day. I don't know. We're all called at different times for different things. Ernest Holmes writes, there is a God power at the center of every man's being, a presence that knows neither lack, limitation, nor fear, sickness, disquiet, nor imperfection. This presence and power is at the center of all people and all things. See, God, I will be with you always. You have that God power at the center of you. You have that presence, that power. Whatever, you have access to whatever power you need to do whatever it is you decide to do. Here's the thing though. It has to come from you. It cannot come from something your children want you to do. It cannot come from something your parents want you to do. It cannot come from the person who you love, the most important person in your world. It cannot come from them. It must come from you. God spoke to Moses. And here's the thing. The children of Israel did not go easily. They argued with him. Why? Because they were in the land of Egypt. And Egypt is symbolic of ignorance. Not the land, not the people, not the land of Egypt. Don't get them. Just think symbolically that the land of Egypt, where they lived for years, centuries, is the land of ignorance. They forgot who they were. And when we forget who we are living in ignorance. Look at what the story that Ajika read, right? The man, for years and years and years and years, he's running around trying to figure out what's going on. And all of this at the same time, what did he finally come to find out? It's the knowledge that you need. So we have to do what Moses did for years, what the rest of us, everybody has to do. You have to learn. You have to learn who you are. You have to have that knowledge. Look at all those quotes. It's all about looking within. You know, there's a lot of talk right these days. I've heard a lot of people talking about these cults and Q and all that. You know what cults are? Because when I first started in Science of Mind back in the 70s, people used to call us a cult. But we are not a cult. And the reason we're not a cult is because cults require you to give allegiance to something. We're not asking you to give allegiance to anything. We are saying to you, you are the authority in your life. God lives in you. It is your responsibility to find that depth of heart within yourself, that depth of love within yourself, that presence, that power, that life of God within you. Don't listen to me. I could be wrong. But you know what? You are that authority. You can go within, find for yourself. I've had experiences that say, yes, I believe this stuff. That's why I'm standing here teaching it to you. But at the same time, what you need to do is figure it out for yourself. You have to have your own experience. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, everyone is an individual, and he can build a wall of negative thought between himself and its perfection. This makes it difficult for him to, for the center. This makes it difficult for his true center to come to the surface. So if you're out busy looking all around the world and what do you see is nothing but negativity, that's what you're going to experience. And you're going to think that's what all there is. And you're going to just try to just save yourself. But that's not what life is about. We are called to be Moses. We are called to be Moses. We are called to be Moses, which means, going back to our topic this month, that we are compassionate conduits in the world, because that's what Moses was. He could have looked at the whole thing and said, well, I don't know what this is, but it's something really crazy and I don't want any part of it. And he gone back to tending his sheep. He had that choice. And you know what? You've had that choice too. To stop and think about the times when you look back at your life and you go like, I should have done this or that or the other. I should have gone to college, or I shouldn't have gone to college, or I should have, done this, or I should have done that, right? I mean, we all have those places because we've all been confronted with the burning bush and we've looked at it and gone like, I can't do that, and walked away because we did not hear the voice of God saying, I will be with you. And if we did, we said, I can't do that. And God tried to tell you, no, I didn't want you to do it. I was sending the law and the Lord to help you. Okay? Because that's what he did. He sent the Lord to help Moses. And every time Moses confronted a problem, the Lord was there to get him through. And the people praised at the end the Lord, who is the what? The warrior. The law does the work for you. But you must accept, you must believe, you must participate, you must choose. You must decide to be Moses. I hope you will. Because you know what? Your life is much better if you will just choose to be Moses. Moses has power. Moses has wisdom. Moses has creativity. Moses lives a wonderful life. Moses is compassionate and caring. And you know what? He is so patient with the people. He is so patient. They have problem after problem after problem. And it is not until he goes up to Mount Sinai, gets the 10 Commandments, and comes back down, they're acting foolish again. And he's like, oh no, I have had enough of this. Okay. And then he gets it together and he becomes himself again. But that's what happens, right? That's what, I mean, we confront issue after issue after issue after issue, problem, 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 on the way to getting to wherever we're going. And at some point we just go like, I can't do this all by myself anymore. And God says, I told you I sent the Lord to help you. Okay, all right. Let it go. Let it go. So that is an awesome story. You know, if you have a Bible, read about Exodus, you know, but instead of reading it from the point of that's, you know, history, read it from the point of instead of put Moses in there, put your name in there and see that, Sandra, God called you, okay? And the Lord is here to help you, you know, and read it differently. We don't have to read it the way it's written. We can read it seeing ourselves in that and realize that there's some part of you that is that ignorant child in Egypt that wants to stay stupid and ignorant and negative and unhappy because they look around and they see, look at all this stuff going on in the world. How can God do anything with all of that? Okay? God can't unless we choose to be Moses. And that's when God can. That's God moves through us as the law, the Lord that is with us always. So be the compassionate conduit. This week is Thanksgiving. Give thanks for the Lord this week. Not just family and all the other stuff, but give thanks for God who is called and you who have answered and the Lord who is what? Being with you and guiding and directing and helping. Let's turn within. And so, with open hearts and minds, join me in answering the call to be Moses. Answering the call to allow the children within ourselves, those negative, unhappy, ignorant parts of ourselves to be released, to be let go of, so that we may walk in the steps that the Lord has provided, that we may see beyond our own individual experiences of life and realize that we truly are compassionate conduits in the world because our Moses consciousness is moving in us and through us and as us in all aspects of our life. I am knowing that right here, right now, in this very moment, that each one of us is this truth, that there is some place within us that has heard this message, that feels it deep within us, and is willing and able to act upon that which we so desire to be in this world. We release and let go of all the things that other people have told us to stand in front of the burning bush of our own consciousness and allow it to fully and completely envelop us, recognizing, realizing, and knowing that we are standing on holy ground, that the spirit of life within us is holy. It is the spirit that is always with us. It is never apart from us. It only requires us to turn within, to notice, and to accept, to realize, and to adhere to. Let us know in this very moment, this truth is flowing in us and through us and as us. And even if we don't understand it fully, even if we don't know how to do it, we release it and let it go and say, simply, I turn this over to the Lord, who is knowing exactly what to do, for it is the warrior of my life. And so only good can go from me, and only good can come to me, because I am the epitome of compassion and kindness. For that is the God within me expressing through me. And so I release this word now, knowing that each one of us is individualizing this word perfectly for ourselves. We are living that life that is perfect for us. We are living the Moses in our own experience, that consciousness that answers the call to wholeness, to perfection, to love, to life, to compassion, and to joy. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so good night. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Once a seeker prayed, please hear my prayer in the middle of the night. Please show me why. Please show me the light. I want to know how hatred took flight. I want to know how death wins the fight. And God said, you are my love in this world. You are my compassion. You're my kindness. You're my gentleness. You're my cheerfulness. The answer is you. And the seeker said, what can I say? What can I do? I am just one, and I don't know what's true. You are the one who knows everything. What is my part? What should I think? And God said, you are my love in this world. You are my compassion. You're my kindness. You're my gentleness. You're my cheerfulness. The answer is you. Let your voice be heard like the beautiful song of a night bird. Let your heart overflow with love like the rain that falls from above, because you are my love in this world. You are my compassion. You're my kindness. You're my gentleness. You're my cheerfulness. The answer is you. You are my love in this world. You
Thank you. That is so right on. Both songs today, just beautiful. Thank you, Susan. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. And for those of you who made comments in the chat, thank you very much. Thank you so much. And Marcia, would you like to give us our conscious giving activities?
I would like to do whatever you'd like me to do, Reverend Sandra.
I would love you to do that. Thank you.
Hello, family. It is now time to talk about conscious giving. I need to change that title. There are 3 ways to give consciously to our community. One way is if you'd like to do it electronically on the internet, you can always use our PayPal link. I forgot to put it in the chat window, but it will be put there as soon as I'm done talking. It is also found in your newsletter. The second way, if you feel more comfortable in mailing a check, go right ahead, use our mailing address, and the check will be received graciously. Our third way, you know, you know how I like to talk about this, Amazon Smile. Amazon Smile, put that little smile on that box. If you are an Amazon shopper, um, you can also be supportive of our center. Just use the link that I'm going to put in the chat window along with or the link that's always in our newsletter. And all you have to do is connect with our center. And when you shop, instead of going to www.amazon.com, you go to smile.amazon.com. And Amazon's charitable program, it's their way of taking a portion of what you spend with them and they donate to our center as well. So, on that note, we're going to have our conscious thought and our information. I am grateful for the divine givingness circulating abundantly through my life, my community, and my world. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Marcia. All right. So in case you haven't seen it, we have a newsletter. Please do go to the newsletter. It comes to you in your email. And take a look. We have some activities up there for December. Also, the Science Mind magazine has a special, and you can get, oh, can you hear me okay? And you can get your, they're having a special for digital copies of the Science Mind magazine and I think it's just, I'm not sure if it's just the affirmations or the whole magazine. Anyway, go take a look and find out. Okay, but it's a great thing to do for and Sandy's got her copy. She's holding it up. That's the December issue, right? Yeah, because I have November. Yeah, so they have really good messages for staying in touch during the week, and then they have affirmations that you can use every day, and readings that you can use every day too. So it's a really good resource for staying on top of things, especially in trying times. Okay. All right. Thanks, Sandy. All right. And in December, we're going to be having our Christmas concert. Well, let's call it a program on December 20th. And we are looking for participants. I think Cynthia is hitting Susan up to participate. In case you didn't know it.
Happy to.
Great. In case you didn't know it, Susan is an operatic singer, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes. And so as Cynthia said, maybe we can get her to sing something really special. And then for those of you who don't know, Marcia also sings, so she's going to be singing for us. And there are people who I remember played some instruments. I won't call any names right now. I will just simply know that you're going to be getting a call from either Cynthia or I and asking you if you would participate somehow. Okay.
And Sandra, I was sharing with Susan this morning that I had a vision this morning. Well, of course, the best ideas come when you're taking a shower.
Yeah.
And I through the magic of technology, would like to put together a CSL West Georgia choir.
Oh,
So
okay.
I know Connie's like, well, yes, I am reaching out to you, Connie. I'm reaching out to you, Zizi. I've already spoken to Susan. And Cynthia, I sent her a text and she was like, oh, what? I'm out of
You're
town.
not
I'm like,
just hands
okay,
up.
yes, get ready. You'll hear from me when. So basically, my vision is that we're going to have one song. We're going to get the music track. And if anybody who would like to participate, what I'm going to have you do is you'll get the track and then you and I will get together, via Zoom and just listen to the music with headphones and I will record your voice. And what I'm going to do through the magic of technology and film editing and everything else is make us a choir. We're going to be singing a song together. So I'm definitely reaching out to the people who have already been willing to sing. But if you also would like to just be a part of us, I don't know how it's going to come out, but in my shower moment, it sounded
Something great.
it sounded great. So
Ah,
just send a message if you'd like. But again, anybody who has already been willing to sing, I will definitely be reaching out to you. So, and I'm going to count on Cynthia finding the correct track. And hopefully we'll do this very quickly so that I have some time to kind of work my magic. So anyway, yes. Oh, and Reverend Sandra, when you're at the point of talking about the 2021 journals, I'll be jumping back in again. Zizi, thank you. I knew you would be in. I knew it. All right, so continue on. I'll be jumping in again to talk about the journals.
okay, so here's the thing. That's Moses acting this morning. Okay. All right. That's a Moses experience. Okay. And the Lord is helping here. Okay. Right.
The Lord better help because I don't know where I'm gonna get the energy
The
for all
Lord
of
is
this.
helping. Okay. That's the technology piece.
And I told Susan, whenever I get these ideas, I try to push them aside. But if they keep hitting me upside the head, then I know I have to put it forth.
Yes,
So
exactly.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. That's the vision is a burning bush experience. You see, this is how it works. We all are having it, but like Marcia said, you push them aside, right? You go like, oh, I can't do that because you don't realize that you don't have to do it alone. There's the law that helps and guides and direction, but you have to turn within to find it. You can't look for it in the world. It'll show up in the world, but you have to accept it within. Okay. All right, so the journals, well, these, I don't have one yet because we haven't ordered them yet, but these are our 2020 journals. And they have, all of the messages for the year in them. And you have probably written a bunch of stuff in yours. I have not because I've used it differently. Okay. But the 2021 ones are out now and we want to start ordering some. So if you're interested in the newsletter, Marcia's going to give you something else, but in the newsletter, there's also a thing that says, if you're interested in ordering one, use our email and just use the link to the email and it'll go to the CSL email and we'll collect them all there. And
So what I have been creating an order form. And so what will be in our newsletter, but we will email this out separately to, when it's live for real. But it's going to be an order form asking you to, go ahead. How many journals would you like to order? They're great gifts, because they're positive, even if they're not. If the person is not a part of a CSL community, just having the quotes and the thoughts are great, so anybody can use it. So this order form, we're trying to kind of beat the system a little bit. I'm not going to have it set up so that you can pay through the order form. But once you have created the order form, it's going to give us the tracking and you will get the information, I believe, in the thank you page on how to either pay via PayPal or to send your payment in. But that way we will have everything organized. And that's almost done. So it should be being sent to you probably tomorrow. So.
And we need to get them ordered soon so that, you'll have them for January, because we want to have them for January 1st. Okay. All right. I think that is, unless somebody else has something else that I forgot to make an announcement about. I think that's it. It's so good to see everybody today, and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy however it is you choose to enjoy. And be safe. Be safe, because our program is December 20th. We want to see all of you there, and not in the hospital somewhere. Okay. All right. Oh, and then last year we did a burning bowl. This year we're not going to do it because burning bowl is something that we need to be together to do. So we're having visioning, and we're going to have it 2 times, on the 28th and the 30th or 31st. I forgot which one, but anyway, it's on the newsletter. So plan to participate in one of those visioning activities. We're going to be visioning for 2021 and setting your vision for 2021. Okay. All right. And we're going to give you some support during the year so that your vision becomes something that you actually experience. Because I know some of you got your letters in the mail from what you said in last December, and you didn't get a whole lot what was there. Some did and some didn't. So anyway, we're going to make sure next year that everybody gets everything. Okay. Unless it changes, of course. Okay. So that's what happens sometimes. All right. That is our service for today. So glad to see you all. Thank you all for your comments in the chat. And Ajika, thank you for reading. Did a great job on that. Worked out really well. Sandy, thank you for organizing all of that. And Susan, good to see you again. And Chris, are you still out west somewhere?
Yeah, I'll be here for a while too. Probably till next year.
I am jealous of where you are.
It's foggy and nice out here.
Those are real backgrounds. He's not in a virtual, folks.
Oh yeah, and you can't really see it, but right in here is the ocean.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Okay,
yep,
I haven't seen the ocean in a while, so the real one, that is. All right, I love you all. Let us close. The video we have is one that you've seen before, but I thought is quite perfect given that it's Thanksgiving this week. Okay.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
all
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything
all
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be
I sit and pray, cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am,
Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
Can't hear you, Sandra.
I just unmuted. Yeah, I didn't say anything. I just went.
Hey, Sandra, before we go, do you think we
For it
could get
all.
Chris to, do you think we could get Chris to turn his laptop around so we could see the ocean?
I don't know if you can see it because of the camera. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this whole this is a $10 million property that I'm on. So there's a big house up here, and I'm staying in a cottage that's over here. So yeah, it is. Whoops. It's nice here, but it's also cold, and you know, 100-year-old cottage has its issues. So that's the way that's sort of the way it is here.
Where are you?
I'm in La Jolla, California.
Oh, yeah, La Jolla. It gets cool there.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
Susan, you're in California too, right? Yeah.
I am in California. I'm in Altadena, California, up in the foothills of the mountains.
Okay, a
Yep.
little warmer.
Yep.
It's nice.
Yeah. So the coast of California is foggy in the I
In
think it's the
mornings.
spring and the fall. Yeah. in the
Right.
mornings. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been really foggy. Yesterday you couldn't see 4 feet.
Yeah. I used to go to Santa Cruz and you would get up there in the morning and it'd be all foggy, but by 1 o'clock it burned off and it's a gorgeous day. Yeah. So anyway.
Yep.
Well, enjoy, you Californians and the Nevadans and all those people out there in the West. We are having nice weather here too. So it's a great day. And so anyway, all right. I love you all. Have a great week. And our final affirmation is coming up now. Ajika, have a safe trip home. Are you coming this week? Next week? No, December. Okay. We go forth today knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good goes from us and only good comes to us. And so it is. Go be Moses this week. I enjoy. All right. Okay, so let's see.